for being wise enough and having the foresight and the wisdom to know that one learning adventure can be absolutely life-changing. It has the power to have children turn around and say, I want to do that. I think that's what I want to do with my life. And if not that, it becomes a passion or a hobby. And in fact, before I go on to thank others, there are many celebrities and notable New Yorkers that I interviewed and spoke to who would share with me how going to one place in their life, often with their parents, dramatically changed the direction of their life. Neil deGrasse, who runs the planetarium, talks often about how he went to the planetarium at age 8 or 9 with his parents and walked out and said, that's what I want to do in my life. Robert Battle had braces on his legs. He went to see Alvin Ailey's Revelations, and he came back and said, I want to be a dancer. And his parents said, but you have braces on your legs. And he said, this is what I want to do. He wrote a children's book about it. He became that dancer, and he's now the artistic director of Alvin Ailey. So that's how powerful a learning adventure is. The New York Hall of Science, I don't know if we have anyone here, the representatives, but thank you so much for hosting us. Look around. This is a place where you bring a child, and as Adam said, you can inspire them, or they can be inspired to be a sculptor, a philosopher, an artist, a Lego builder, an architect. It's right here. And I'm sure many of you know children and have children who spend hours and hours and hours doing this. To our educators, for every successful, happy child in the world, in the back of that child's mind, that grown child's mind, is a teacher who made a difference. So from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you to Mrs. Weiss in my 6th grade, but all those teachers make a tremendous difference. They're life-changing. And to the venues, to all the different venues, I thank you, Allison, and Tomoko, Terry. You're the magic. You're the learning adventures that create the true magic and life-changing adventures in a child's life. So thank you. All right. So let me give you a quick background on who. Love this marble notebook. All right. So I'm a product of the public schools, the Queens Public Schools. And in fact, earlier, one of the parent coordinators from PS 115 in Glen Oaks, Queens, came by to let me know that they greatly supported us. So that's where my life started. I'm a former teacher, master's in social work. In the program, I went with Dennis Walcott, who was your former chancellor. He was a classmate of mine in social work school. I produced TV shows for CBS. I worked at 60 Minutes. Then I segued over to New York One, where I worked for close to 25 years. Is Lisa still here? Lisa Farman, are you here? Lisa, I worked with Lisa directly at New York One. Bravo, you really thank you. And I was the parent and family reporter, and what that means is that we did segments about getting ready for school, organizing the room, the parent-teacher conference, nutrition, literacy. We had children. Does anyone remember we would have kids come on and read with us? We had borough presidents come on and read and share reading with us. But then we realized something was missing. Part of it was my own anxiety and stress. What am I going to do as a single mom with my 2 kids on the weekend? How much is this going to cost? Where the heck am I going to go? And more importantly, why am I going there? Why am I going there? Is this going to give my child the successful skills they need to do great things in their life? And there was no one to really tell me or help me. And then I thought, well, I'm feeling that way. And then we started to get interesting responses from the viewers who were also asking us for the same thing. Please tell us where to go. We don't know where to go, other than the park across the street. Where should we go? The Where to Go segment was born. Then I was blessed And I bumped into the Sussmans, and they were working on Cheryl Wills, the great anchor from New York One. And somehow, in meeting them and at the launch of Cheryl's book, the Sussmans, we started to talk, and they reached out to me and they said, wait a minute, we love what you do. This really connects so perfectly with our mission statement for families and for children and education. We'd love you to come in and why don't we sit down and talk about it and see if you can take that where to go, that very popular where to go segment, and transfer it into something that would really work well for us. And so we did. And that became Shelley's Learning Adventures. And I need a book. May I? Sorry, thank you. That became Shelley's Learning Adventures in NYC. So, at its core, the mission statement of the book is really twofold. One is that one place, one adventure, one experience can dramatically change a child's life and get them to be thinking about who they are, who they want to be, a career, a passion, what they might want to do with their life. And the other is the family engagement and the parent engagement. That by getting the parents involved, a couple of things happen. First of all, when parents are involved, and I know I don't have to tell the educators, you have kids who are more motivated and excited to learn. The second thing is that the parents end up being great role models for learning for their children. Because if the parents are able to go out and be adventurous and try something new, the children will follow suit. And also, the questions that are in the book, there's a lot of critical thinking questions. Those who, what, when, why, and how, those recorder questions that will get both the child and the parent thinking educationally and in a very broad-based way that aids and supports education. So for those of you who haven't a copy of the book, I know some of you are, how many of you, I'm just curious, haven't looked through the book yet? Just so I have a sense. Okay, so quickly, just to give you a sense of what the book looks like, and I think everyone gets the book on the way, out. There's, on one side you have the venue, and you have, of course, different ways, wonderful ways to get there. And as Adam wonderfully explained, there's all different price points. There's things that are free, low cost, pay what you wish, one ticket, $12, $10, $15. There's also some high-priced things for special occasions. We also thought about all different kinds of learners, Howard Gardners, because not everyone, learning from a book is great, but there's something so unique and so special when you're actually in a venue, that you're not in your head, and you're immersed in it, and you're really learning by being inside the venue. And that's what these learning adventures are all about. So, because there's all different kinds of learners, we have activities that are inside, outside, science, art, music. We have things for visual learners. We have things for active learners, like ziplining across the Bronx River. We have things for science learners, hands-on. But there's something for all different kinds of children who have different learning styles, as do parents. There's, on the left-hand side, what I've done is bullet pointing key features to look for at each venue. And the reason I've done that is because I don't want parents to be stressed out. I don't want them wandering around saying, I don't know, why am I here? Well, what am I supposed to look at? How can I help my child? So we bullet pointed destinations that they can go to so that they feel grounded. And then they can continue to explore on their own. There's also a website at the bottom of the book. So let's say at the Intrepid, you can meet the astronauts for breakfast on November 26th. That will be on the website. And we're also going to have a way that parents can share with other parents great things that they liked when they visited the venues. So they're engaging other parents in that way as well. That's even more parent engagement or family engagement. On the right-hand side is the curriculum piece of the puzzle. We start with fascinating teachers I think will love this Did You Know Facts. I'm going to try you out. How many times does your heart beat a day? Hands? How many times do you think your heart beats a day? Steve?
72,000.
Okay. Anybody else? Take a guess, Kosa.
A million.
A million. Okay. It's a day. Most people have said 200, it's 100,000 times a day. Your heart beats 100,000 times a day. And when you say that to kids, there becomes an immediate awareness of how important nutrition and health is. Because you've got to take care of something that's beating 100,000 times a day. Oh, sorry. Here's my other question. Here's another did you know in the book, a science. If you took the Earth and placed it inside the sun, how many Earths do you need to fill up the sun?
It would melt.
It would melt. Okay, great. All right, come up with a number.
3,000.
3,000?
1,000.
1,000.
3.5.
I feel like I'm winning with the gavel. I feel like an auctioneer. Okay, 1,000?
I said 3.5.
3.5, like 3.5 Earths.
80.
8 or 80?
80.
80, okay, all right. So Alice is okay. You ready for this? The second you say this, kids are going to be running to the books to do more research. 1.5 million Earths.
Oh my God.
And you can all fact check it right now if you look. 1.5 million Earths. If that doesn't immediately, instead of the teacher saying the sun is big, now it's like we know how big, right? So we have vocabulary words and this critical thinking questions, as I said, the who, what, when, why, and how, which is the way reporters think, getting parents and kids to do this together so we're engaging the family directly, so learning becomes exciting for the whole family, and kids are more motivated and excited to learn, as I mentioned. And then there's a career flash box, a very important career flash box that talks about who are the people that work at this venue. What are the skills that they need to do this work, to do this job? Let's go research this. So that's another area. And I know I mentioned we support diverse communities by having this. The book is in Spanish and in Chinese, all right? And is there anything that I left out? Yes, I'm talking about that, yes. And we talked about the career flash book, which is critical. But again, that's the child walking in and being transfixed by, who was it that Mr. Flores in District 7, we went to a parent, does he mind if I say this? Am I allowed to?
Just to say this.
Can I tell the story a little?
Yeah, please.
When we go to a parent coordinator meeting, please, Mr. Flores, forgive me, but you said I could talk about this. In the end, but as we're talking,
They shut the lights off because you were about to tell that story.
Yes. Mr. Flores comes over to me practically with tears in his eyes and he says, oh my God. He said, I kept hearing you talk about all these great places to go. He says, I had a real hard upbringing. I would take my kids to the park. He said, my life was really on the edge. And he said, by the third time watching you on TV, and Vianney was there when he said this, he said, I thought, okay, lady, I'll try it. I'll go to one of these places. And he went, and then he was transformed, his child was transformed, he kept going, and he came up to me and wrapped his arm around me, and he said, my son is an anthropologist because of you. He said, and I will do anything in the world to support you. You changed my family's life. So that's how powerful these learning adventures are. So I'm just going to read you, I guess, I love my vocalized notebook, thank you. But I just want to leave you again that engaging the family is so critical, and this makes it so the parents no longer have to wait for the class trip or the class outing. I'm saying you can do this too. You can partner with the school. And the kids are going to be more excited and more motivated in terms of learning, and they're going to bring their parents right into the educational process. So thank you so very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Shelley. So for the next steps, we wanted to open up to any questions from our wonderful audience here. Then secondly, Shelley will be signing books in the dark, back in that corner there. So you can tell her any secrets, and it's only between you, Shelley, and the book. And then after, a docent or a representative from the museum is willing to give us a tour. If anyone wants to take a tour, it's an amazing facility. Not only what it says in the book, but there's like some new exhibits here now, and they're really excited to do that. So I'd like to open the floor. If anyone has any questions, yes.
When is the Spanish going to be available?
So the Spanish will be available around January, February, in 2.5, 3 months. Yes. Good question. Thank you. Yes.
Are you hoping to place the book in museum gift shops?
Yes.
I can hear the question.
Are you open to placing the book in the museum?
Yes,
gift
as
shop?
Steve said earlier, one of the seminal ideas behind this is it's not only an educational product, but it has a consumer component as well. So yes, it will be. That's part of the plan.
It is on Amazon as of today.
Oh,
As of today. Yes! Yes! Please get it. If you love it, write great reviews. Great.
Nice Christmas gift?
Yes.
I just want to make a comment. I was trying to do like where to take parents with a parent coordinator, and this is going to be a very good tool for me to pick spots that it's already done the information part, and I will see places where I can get on the train with a group of parents and go visit these locations and kind of show them how to take their kids out on a trip. So this is awesome. Thank you.
Great.
I would also like to make a comment as an educator, saying that if we do take the children to these sites, that it will really help with writing, because our kids have a real issue with their writing, and the questions that you have presented here will have them thinking and be able to take back things that they could write about. So thank you.
That's wonderful. Thank you. And thank you for reminding me. That's very important to mention. Thank you. Very powerful stuff.
There was a raised hand here. Yes.
just to get a list.
They're searching
Or
over
kids
the
will
summer
be searching
for
through the
parent
internet just to get a
coordinators.
list to give to parents when school is ending. So this is going to be a great asset to them. So you don't have to search. You can just look in the book, make the list, give it out to
Now,
parents.
people are talking about so, because, can you say here that your parents are searching over the summer?
Parent coordinator.
Parent coordinators
Yeah.
are searching over the summer for places to go and to take,
For parents
for parents to take.
to take the kids.
Right, and so this is going to be a great resource.
Because we're located in the South Bronx,
Okay.
PS212.
PS212?
Yes, in the South Bronx.
South Bronx?
So it's really hard for parents, financially and otherwise, to get to go out with kids. They wait on a school trip. So he was trying to gather information so that they can have it in the summer to take kids.
Great.
So this book will be a very good asset for him. So he could because I picked one up.
Great, great.
So
I'd love
it
to
will
see,
be-
I'd love to see in the hands of all the parents, so they
Yes,
can, they can partner
That's
with the
why
schools.
I'm asking, is it going to be sold into the DOE?
Is it going to be sold to the DOE? That's the DOE?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Right.
I'll just address that question, Barbara, and
Yeah.
then you're up. So this will be on Famous for those of you that are from DOE schools. And one of the things we've done with parent involvement materials in the past is we give the ideas to schools that use your parent involvement money, maybe to buy 50, 100, 150 copies, because then when you have your next parent event, first 100 parents that come to the next parent event, it's a way to get more involved in the school from the parents by giving them a
Based
gift.
on attendance.
What's that?
On attendance. The basis on attendance.
Exactly.
Attendance.
Exactly right.
I got it.
Yep. Go ahead, Bob.
Barbara?
Hi, I just wanted to make a comment that my daughter lives in New Jersey, and we have 2 adorable little grandchildren. I'm sure everyone that's a grandparent thinks their kids are adorable. And she must call me at least twice a week. Where do you think we should take the kids? What do you think we should do? So I think it doesn't really matter what community you're in. Whether you're in the South Bronx, whether you're in Brooklyn. My daughter lives in New Jersey. Whether you're in New Jersey, we're coming to the city. Where should we take the kids? Where should we take the kids? What do you think we should do? And And I found, I happened to have gotten a little preview, so I was excited, that it served for me a perfect resource of, oh my God, you can do this in Brooklyn, you can do this in Manhattan, you can do this if you want to go to Queens, you can go to the farm. So it served as such a fabulous resource for people who don't even have to do with the educational community, just because parents are always looking for places to take their kids, as opposed to, as you said, just across the street to the park.
Thank you.
And by the way, this is Barbara Wiener, who used to be the District 75 Technology Coordinator, and she used to get Richard Dreyfuss to keynote a conference to help special needs kids in New York City. So,
Now I have Shelley.
So I want to be teaching that, well done. At the back of the book, when you get the book, you'll see that I said to Adam at the end, I said, after they go through the 75, I want to give them more. And Adam said, what are you talking about? I said, I want another page. I want to give a whole list of more, because I want the parents to be so excited that they can't stop. That they just, now that they're into this, it's like a field trip every weekend. You know, they just want to go and go. So you will see at the end of the book, Adam was so gracious, as were the Sussmans, that there is a page of more and more places you can go where your children can go build a boat. They can build a boat and actually sail the boat, right? The canoe, the boat, but there's more and more places to investigate. And what I would love to do, and I keep saying, I said it to the Sussmans and I say it to Adam, I would love to come into the schools. I would love to work with parents. I would love to help show them how to research. Research skills are major in this book. How to research websites, how to start looking for things, and when you find one, how to double check on a website and to see all the different exhibits that are being offered. It's a skill set. I would love to come and work with the parents and tell them all about the book, but primarily how to get started on discovering all these wonderful learning adventures and places they can take their kids. So think of me please for PD and for anything with parent coordinators and with parents and with kids.
Any other questions before we go into phase B, I guess, which would be Shelley signing the books in the dark?
Fan, no, from near one. Right here. Love you. This one parent coordinators too, right? You raise your hands as a parent coordinator. Like, it's so sad that there's not more.